including yours.
We are one race, and that's the human race. And the only color President Trump sees is green.
Ching-ching.
And he wants you to have some of it. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. So get over it. Stop crying like a baby and a little bitch. You mad that Kamala. That is him trying to tell you that Trump's a ball. He's a baller. A shot caller. I hope he builds that damn wall till he taller. Build that wall. Build it tall. Protect us all before this country falls. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Now you need to go around acting like that Trump. Take a look in the mirror. You just got strong. So you tell your fans to draw a line in the sand to make the truth between you and him like you the man. So let me tell you something that you really need to know. A lot of your fans vote for Trump, so maybe you need to go. So you tell the NFL they should stand up and still a kneeling on the flag trying to pull us up. And they can take a knee and kneel during halftime, but don't do it on our watch time or our time. It's sad that you had to use racism to make a connect, but with our rhyme, we're just keeping you in check.
Ooh, y'all.
Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president.
Hello, Diamond. Part 2.
Now we don't care if you black, white, or pinstripe. If you are a Republican or Democrat. If you are a liberal or conservative. If you are gay or straight. If you are an American citizen. In case you don't know. In case you forgot. In case you suffering from amnesia. Guess what? Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. So take a look around you. What do you see? The same old bullshit staring back at you and me.
The Senate, the Congress, the Democrat side, some in the Republican camp, it's all the same guy.
To all the haters, the race baiters, the agitators, and the demonstrators.
Even the ones that want to leave cause they're really whack. Pack your coat, pack your hat, don't you come back.
And when the president decided to drain the swamp, to benefit people even if you're in a dump.
Lower taxes, more money, jobs from overseas, immigration enforcement, no more freebies. Believe that and don't forget it.
Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president. Trump's your president. He's a baller, baby. He's your president. He's your president. And he's gonna win again. He's your president. He's your president. It's about time that you melted down snowflakes. Take a seat, listen up, zip it up with some tape. Trump's your president. He's your president. He's your president.
Because Trump is the man with the master plan, and all he wants to do is make America great again.
He's your president.
Oh, yes, y'all. Trump is your president. He's doing the presidential thing. That's right. Yes, he surely is. He's working for the will of the people. You all, I want you to go to Trump's, yopresident.com. That's Trump's, yo, Y-O, yo, TrumpsYoPresident.com is what I want you all to do. Go there right now, you all, TrumpsYoPresident.com. I want you all to download the song, use it as a ringtone. That's what I want you all to do. Add it to your playlist and get your boogie oogie woogie on. Yeah. You know, I was just thinking, you know, every time we dance, why we hold our mouth like this? Like this right here. Be getting it in. Why we hold our mouth like that right there? And then we just, do. Because we know we cute, right? Yeah. TrumpsYoPresident.com. Go there and get it, you all. Now, listen, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live Show. I'm your host, Silk, and you are my co-host, my Diamond Dream Team. And as Diamond would always say, it takes a team to build a dream. So I want you to stop what you're doing right now. Be sure to like and share this broadcast, this podcast. I want you to share it everywhere. Share it everywhere. Let them know that Silk is on the air. All right, because Sharon is Karen. Tonight we're going to be talking to Paymont Mata Heyday. Yep. We're going to be talking about these taxes and different things and paying your taxes based off the law. Based on the law. Yeah. And when we look at the law, we see something. Yeah. But we'll talk about it a little bit more. We wait till he get on here. All right. So if you have any questions for him, post them in the chat. All right. Post them in the chat if you have any questions for Payment. Okay. All right. Listen, don't forget to download the Vocal app, VOCL.com. Vocal app and the Lindo TV app. It's two different apps and it's absolutely free. And I want you to download these apps, okay, so that you can stay updated and informed. Shout out to everyone joining me live on the chats. I see Wisconsin in the house. Western New York is in the house. Texas is in the house. California is in the house, honey. I'm glad that you got some electricity to be able to be in the house. They done took your water from you, and I'm surprised they ain't took the electricity as well. But thank God you here. Ohio is in the house. Yep. North Carolina is in the house. Hey, baby. Yes, I see you, darling. Hey, sweetheart. I see you, sweetie. Texas, I see you, darling. Thank you all so much for coming in. Louisiana just popping in. I see you, sweetheart. Hey, darling. Thank you all so much. Yep. Let me know where you're watching the show from. I truly do appreciate it. Shout out to Lindell TV, RSBN Network, Blessed News Network, Diamond and Silk Network. Yep, for streaming the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live Show on your platforms. I truly do appreciate it. Don't forget that the show is sponsored by MyPillow.com and MyStore.com. Yes, be sure to use promo code Diamond or promo code Trump1. All right, go there, MyPillow.com, MyStore.com. Use promo code Trump1 because Trump did win. The show is also sponsored by PatchThat.com. That's PatchThat.com. These are the LifeWave patches. They're a patented technology, you all, that reflects your own energy back into your body. All right. I call it your body regenerators. All right. Because we got to regenerate our body. We got to regenerate our body with all these different chemicals and stuff that they got out here. All right. So PatchThat.com. Give the body what it needs. And keep in mind that these patches are money back guaranteed. They are phenomenal. All right. PatchThat.com. The show is also sponsored by DiamondandSilkStore.com. Go get your Diamond and Silk bobblehead memorabilia, your Trump bling pins, bling, your Diamond and Silk signature pins. These are some beautiful pins, you all. I was just pulling them out right here. And because, I got to take care of some business and stuff. And I'm like, I got to make sure that I have me a pen at all time on me. Yeah. So the people can see these pretty pens. All right. So this is how you support the show whenever you purchase a pen, okay? Or whatever else you purchase there at DiamondSilkStore.com. And also, while you're there, visit Dr. Artist and Dr. Stella, all right? For Dr. Artist, get the Biodefense, the Foreign Protein, and the EDTA. Don't forget to pick up the capsules, the empty capsules, so that you can put the liquid in, and then you can swallow it, all right? Yeah, it works better for me, for a sister, because I like to taste my food. I like to taste my herbs and my spices and stuff. Yeah, I don't like my food to taste bland, all right? And see, if you take that before you eat, and you put it on your tongue, it's going to go through a little thing, and I don't like that. I don't like that taste. No. So what I do is put it in the capsules and just swallow it. It works better for me. All right, all right. And Dr. Stella, if you're in need of ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine, then visit Dr. Stellar. Special thank you to all contributors, everyone that's made a contribution towards the show. If you would like to become a one-time contributor or a monthly contributor, guess what? Go to supportdiamondandsilk.com. That's supportdiamondandsilk.com. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, send them to diamondandsilk@gmail.com. That's diamondandsilk@gmail.com. All right. So now look, I done got through my spiel. Now I want to go ahead on and bring on the man of the hour. Yes, 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 you all. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Payman Motorhayday. Payman. Is he here? Is he here? There you go. There you go. Hello, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Wow. Thank you so much for being on the show. I was looking at some of your stuff and something you said, it is so true. You said they lied to you about weapons of mass destruction. They lied to you about COVID. They lied to you about the jabs. They lied to you about January the 6th, and they lied to you about income taxes. So we're finding out, sir, that they've lied to us about a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of stuff, and it's truly disgusting. So I want to know, first off, why are you the number one enemy of the IR and the S?
Because I've been teaching Americans for over 30 years to follow the law as written on US government's official legal websites.
Mm-hmm.
And the law is very clear. The people of the 50 United States by law are not required to file or pay federal income taxes. We've been
Mm-hmm.
duped to believe that there is a law requiring the people of the 50 states to file and pay income tax. We've been duped to believe that if you don't file those 10 40 income tax forms under oath to swear that you owe the IRS money, that the IRS will take your bank account, your paycheck, everything you got, and put you in
Mm-hmm.
prison. These are all just more propaganda lies we've been told. And I am living proof of the truth of this because IRS has known about me for over
Mm-hmm.
30 years,
Wow.
teaching Americans to not file or pay federal income taxes that we don't owe in the first place. IRS knows about me. I've been under criminal investigation and
Mm.
other investigations for over 30 years, and they've been unable to indict me, to even try to put me in prison for not having filed or paid even $1 of income taxes.
Wow. Wow. Well, are you under investigation right now?
Oh, you better believe it. Like I said, I've
You
been
under
under criminal investigation and civil investigation and abusive tax shelter investigations for over 30 years. They want to look at me to see if I'm breaking any laws, and they can't
mm-hmm.
find anything. In fact, I have beaten them in their own courts as well. In the U.S. tax court, I've beaten the IRS. I've beaten them with the IRS appeals officer ruling in my favor. In federal district court, also, I sued the criminal investigator who wanted the information about who attended my First Amendment events exposing government corruption. He wanted to know who attended them, and I sued him, and he backed off. The Irish lawyer forced
Wow.
him to come on, back off. He's going to sue your pants off. So this is
Wow.
all published on our website, freedomlawschool.org, for free. And all the education is there for people to see the truth and stop income tax withholding from the paycheck for free on our website at freedomlawschool.org/silk.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. So the Biden regime, did they raid your business or anything last year?
The Biden regime has been having me on the criminal investigation, as far as I know, for over 6 years. Okay.
Okay. Okay. But did nobody raid your business?
They did a search warrant. Okay, they got some
Uh-huh.
things, but doesn't matter because what I'm
Right.
doing is completely up and up. They can go search high and low in the drawers, in the back, everything else. They can look all they want. I've not violated any law, just like Donald Trump.
Yep.
They try the same thing with him. Oh, Donald Trump did all that stuff. Then he's FBI went to his place and all his trials. It was what? It was the same corrupt deep state trying to flex the muscles. But guess what? That just shows how desperate they are
They are. Yeah.
because we've
Yeah.
been waking up more and more people, and they're afraid that they're going to lose control very quickly.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, did they have a search warrant? But that's how they did it through us via a search warrant. So my question was, do you believe you're under investigation because of not paying taxes, or because you're encouraging others to stop paying their taxes based on the law? And it feels like to me that you're being harassed because of you letting people know about the law. It's not about a loophole in the law. It's about the actual law. And it feels like that you're probably being targeted. Would you
Of
agree?
course, I've been targeted for over 30 years, and because they want to shut down our right to free speech, to
Mm-hmm.
assemble together, to
Mm-hmm.
distribute material and educate our fellow Americans about what's going on. They want to make America like Iran, where I came from, where you could not criticize the king of Iran of corruption. They could take you to jail. Who knows where you are? You disappeared for weeks or months. You could be tortured. All kind of stuff they could do to you just because you criticize the king. And here they want to do the same thing. But what they
Yep.
don't know is that America has such a strong foundation of freedom. It's in our Constitution. All these rights and more are there. And the more they push, like they with Donald Trump, it's going to hit back in their own faces.
Yeah, yeah. Now let me say this. Personally, I believe that the IRS and many more agencies should be abolished. Okay, not because of you, but because of them themselves. They're corrupt. All right. And here's another thing. I'm tired of being harassed by the IRS, especially during the Biden era. It's like every month I was getting something in the mail from the IRS with them needing proof that I paid this or that I filed that 2, 3, 4 years ago. Okay, all right. And whenever my team would send back proof to the IRS, the information that they were looking for, they would send back a letter basically stating that they need more time to review. Okay, it got so bad, Payma, that I called them myself. I forget the accountant, forget the team. I picked up the phone and called them myself to see what was up. What's up? Okay. All right. And I had to ask them this question if I was on their target list. Because as long as I have been filing taxes, this had never happened to me except during the Biden regime. Okay. All right. I was never harassed like this. I was not targeted like this. But under the Biden regime, it's like every month, every other month, it was something. And here is my deal. I told them just like this, that their systems should be equipped to show if they received a payment from me, especially since they are the ones that cash the check. Okay, all right. So now that we got Elon Musk and stuff going in and looking at different things and finding out their systems is not even equipped. It's like still back in the olden days. All right, and my deal is, I feel this is so that they can be corrupt. Okay, I feel that they could, so that they do this instead of updating their system is so they can be corrupt. Because if I didn't have my paperwork, then they would try to come after me because what? I took the noose and put it around my neck and hung myself when I signed that form. Okay, all right. So once again, personally, I truly believe that the IRS is a cartel and that it's illegal and that it needs to be abolished. And I want to know, what do people need to do? What needs to happen? Because a lot of people are in fear. When you said that about people being duped, okay, people being duped into believing that they're going to come after you, they're going to take your property, you're going to be put in jail. People are looking at how people have been put in jail, okay, for not paying their taxes. But can you please, I'm going to let you break it down. Even though I know the answer, I'm going to let you break it down. How is it that people are still being put in jail or having to file back taxes and their property being taken from them or their bank accounts being frozen? How is that even possible if you say that they don't have to pay taxes?
Because the people that get in trouble with the IRS that go to prison, over 95% of them approximately are people who filed that 1040 income tax confession form. You see, your accountant, CPA, or tax attorney did not tell you when you signed that 1040 form what it says, the small, tiny font next to sign here big. That's a classic used car salesman sneaking something upon you that he didn't tell you
Mm-hmm.
what it says. When you
Mm-hmm.
sign that form, you are swearing under oath that you owe the IRS that money. And if you don't pay what you say you owe, well, that's a problem with you. They take your bank
Wow.
account or paycheck. That's a problem with you because you said you owe the IRS money. So that's how you give them the power. And if there's any kind of a mistake, now you can be charged with three separate crimes: putting together for the IRS false statements, fraudulent
Mm-hmm.
statements, tax evasion. Combined 9 years, you can go to prison for that one signature on that 1040 form. And the thing is, these so called experts, bookkeepers, accountants, CPAs, tax attorneys,
Yep.
they claim, oh, I'm the expert, listen to me. Always file your tax return no matter what, otherwise, you'll be in trouble with the IRS. It's the opposite. Just like the corona jab that made you believe people are dying of corona. There is no such thing as corona to begin with. They called everything, whether you had a heart problem, liver, kidney, everything, they
Yep.
called it corona. They had a phony test positive for having some genetic material in your system. It was all
Yep.
phony. So they got you scared. Now you go get the jab, and that's what's killing people.
Killing you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Again, one of my relatives died because he got several of the jabs, and he ended up in hospital, tortured for months by doctors, and ended up killing him. So same thing
Yeah.
goes with these accountants. Don't listen to them. They don't know
Yeah.
about the law. Have them go to freedomlawschool.org, watch my 10-minute video on income
Mm-hmm.
tax law, which I show people the law, the
The law.
Internal
I know
Revenue
somebody is
Code.
asking, where can we find this law? Somebody asked that question. I'm looking at my feed. Where can we find this law?
There is no law requiring you to file income tax. If you go to freedomlawschool.org, there is 7 steps to free yourself of IRS deception, which leads to fear. And with that fear, now they can rob and enslave you. So the step one is
Right.
follow the law. We want to follow the law, and you should follow the law. In that 10-minute video in step one, you'll see the law exactly right in front of your face.
Yes.
1044
So here's the deal.
instructions.
Here's the deal. There is no law. Okay. There is no law,
Right,
but they have a tax law for DC. Correct?
right. That's
All
right.
right. All right. So if they don't have a law for America, okay, even though they have a tax law for DC, then when you say, where can I find this law? They can go to your website, I guess. But the deal is, there's no law stating that we have to pay taxes on our income. And I was reading something and it was saying how, I believe it's SCOTUS even stated that it's illegal for us to pay taxes on our earnings, on our income. All right. So if there is no law, why are we sitting here looking for a law to give our money away? Because that's what it looked like we are out here doing. That's what we've been duped into believing. Now, for a person, Paymon, that's been paying their taxes faithfully for, let's say, 20 years, how do they stop paying their taxes and not get penalized for not filing their taxes for 2025?
All of that is available for free on our website, freedomlawschool.org. If they have any trouble or challenges, they're welcome to call our office at 813-444-4800. We'll guide them for free. Here's how you educate yourself about the law. Here's how you
Mm-hmm.
stop your employer from stealing your money and give it to
Mm-hmm.
the IRS deep state. It's all there. They just got to go freedomlawschool.org/silk and help themselves to it.
Now we know that the 15th of April is coming up, and you have people now that's asking questions about filing extensions. Okay.
Yes.
And they want to know, should they file an extension, extension? And I can't give them advice on that, but they have to go and figure that out for themselves after they go and find a law and see that there's no law there.
Well, Silk, what I
Correct?
do, I tell them, go ahead. If that makes you feel better, go ahead and file for extension because it means nothing. And the extension is not signed by you or anybody else. You could send an extension for your neighbor if you wanted to. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
legally, nobody signs it. So, but this gives them the chance to go to freedomlawschool.org/silk and educate themselves, see the law for themselves. They'll see it right there. I show them the law from the Internal Revenue Code. This is federal tax laws, the Bible of the IRS. They can see all of the truth, the law for themselves that was hidden from their eyes in plain sight by the incompetent lawyers, incompetent CPA accountants who pretend to know tax law, but they don't know it, just like most doctors do not know about vaccines being bad for you. So why are you going to that doctor that tells you to get vaccines? We shouldn't do that. And you shouldn't go to this CPA, tax attorney accountant, and listen to him that says, file the 1040 confession form, put the rope around your neck under oath, sign that you owe
Oh,
the IRS money, and give it to the IRS. Oh, well, he gets richer. The doctor and CPA, they both get richer by doing it to
yeah.
you.
It's a wonder I'm still talking to you, as many nooses I don't put around my neck. I'm telling you, it's just ridiculous because that's how we were taught. That's how we were indoctrinated. You better pay your taxes. You don't want to go to jail. You don't want to lose this. You don't want to lose that. But now that I have truly been educating myself, I always want to I'm tired of paying taxes. I'm tired of the IRS. I'm sick and tired of I hope Trump, I wish he would just sign an executive order to abolish all of them because it's as far as I'm concerned, they're stealing our wealth and enslaving human beings. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. Let me ask you this question now. Tax records are typically connected to so many different aspects of purchasing things like a home, a vehicle, or even getting a loan. Okay. So, how does someone work themselves around this if they've paid no income taxes, have no records to show it when the income taxes are requested? How are they able to verify their income uh, if they're interested in purchasing something, even though they filed no taxes.
Because although most lenders do not know how to make home loans without tax returns, but there are the mortgage home agents, the experienced ones, that can get you loan based upon bank deposits. They assume that, let's say a
Mm-hmm.
100,000 you put it in your bank deposit in your bank, that's your income, and based upon that, they loan for you. But I
Yeah.
recommend people do not get housing now because we had close to top of the real estate market, just like 2006 was near the top. So I don't recommend people get into real estate right now. I recommend gold, silver, and Bitcoin.
Okay. All right. All right. That's his advice, you all. I got a question that just came in. They want to know what is the difference between legally avoiding taxes and illegal tax evasion?
Well, tax evasions, evading taxes you owe. For example, you owe a property tax. You gotta pay that.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta pay sales tax. You gotta do that, okay? Or alcohol tax.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm talking about paying the taxes you never legally owed in the first place. We've been duped for over 100 years to pay income taxes the people of the 50 states never owed. Even in 1913, they wrote the income tax law to apply only to citizens and residents of Washington, D.C. and federal territories only. You see that on the proof on my website on the law at freedomlawschool.org/silk. It's right there, the law of 1913. You can see it for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Someone just posted, I'm skeptical. It can really make you very skeptical whenever you have been used to doing things wrong for so long. All right. Then someone come along and say, hey, yeah, you didn't even have to do that. And then you're like, well, what? What? Because what they put in our face is all of this fear. This fear is what they continue to put in our face. And when you
So
said
let
that
me address
about,
that for
go
you, if
ahead,
I may.
go
You
ahead,
know,
darling.
if you were to tell the average American, average, even conservative person, the Department of Injustice, FBI, and judges are very corrupt in America, people would laugh at you. They say, "No,
Right.
you're just unpatriotic." We have a best men and women of FBI, like Sean Hannity used to say, the men and women of FBI, and the DOJ and judges are like gods, holy gods. If something went wrong legally, you're the problem. Judge is always right. But now
Yeah.
with Donald Trump, they see, whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
FBI,
whoa,
CIA, DOJ,
whoa.
even judges, these guys are a bunch of crooks, criminals. Okay, so it's taking people to see how corrupt the system is, and the same thing
Mm-hmm.
applies to the IRS. You're
Mm-hmm.
skeptical. You should be, but I'm telling you, look at the truth 10 minutes at
Yep.
freedomlawschool.org. Step one is follow the law. I will show you the law with your own eyes. You see, wow, 1044 instructions, laws passed by Congress, Supreme Court. It's right there, but it was hidden in plain sight in the middle of all the law book pages that nobody
All of
showed you.
those words. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you so much for breaking that down. Now, here's another question. If a person is self employed, okay, do they still need to pay anything towards Social Security, Medicare, and unemployment? Those
No,
systems.
not at all. You never paid
Oh,
anything toward those to begin with. All that is a scam on the hard-working, poor, hard-working middle-class entrepreneurs. They sucker you to believe, oh, you pay to Social Security for toward
security.
your retirement. Oh, so be a good slave because you're saving toward your retirement. Lies. All that money is spent right away by law, and it goes all the corruption and waste and criminality of Washington, D.C. Tomorrow, Congress can pass a law and stop giving anybody any Social Security or Medicare if they want to. They have no obligation because that money was not set aside for you as they want you to believe.
You're absolutely right. I'm just thinking after my sister passed away, all of the money that she paid into these different systems, not one red cent came back for her son. Not one
Hmm.
red cent. So what happened to her money, the money that she paid towards these particular systems, you know?
Hmm.
And that was going to be the next question. If you're self-employed, a self-employed person that do not pay the taxes, will you still get a retirement check once you retire? That was another question.
Yeah, if you want to participate in the socialist system, which I do not recommend, especially for self-employed people, because I'm not a socialist. If you listen to Silk, you're not a socialist, okay? If you
Right.
want to do that, yes, you can. You can pay zero in the system and get money out just like the illegal aliens do.
Come
You
on
can
here.
also get all the health care, but just like illegal aliens go to emergency room of a hospital, they get health care for free.
And they ain't
I don't
paid one
recommend it.
red cent, no dime, not one dime into the system. And
Mhm.
under the Biden regime, you are the Democrats allow illegal aliens to receive money from the Social Security system, from the Treasury there. Okay. And
Mhm.
so, how is it that we as American citizens pay our money into the system and you got to go through a whole long drawn out processes to get what you paid in back, but illegal aliens ain't pay one dime into the system and they getting the money, no questions asked. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh wow, wow. Okay, let me see, I'm just seeing who else we got. uh who else we have here with President Trump being in. Do you think that he will possibly abolish the IRS, whatever, especially with all of the fraud that we're finding out?
He doesn't need to. If somebody that you know, Silk, anybody can put me in touch with Donald Trump, all he has to do is to put on IRS's website, you've been duped to pay income taxes you don't know. Here's your notice. Federal income taxes never apply to the people of the 50 states. Employers, you don't have to steal from your employee's paycheck, FICA, Social Security, or income tax to send to the deep state. And here's a link to the law. Read the law for yourself, like we have on our website, freedomlawschool.org. That's all he has to do. He does not need to get approval by Congress or pass a law or change the law. The income tax will still be paid by citizens and residents of Washington, D.C., where the federal
Mm-hmm.
government has unlimited power in that little land and the people of there. But the 50 states people, we were already free. We just need to reclaim our power by knowledge, by looking at the law that we thought, oh no, I'm not an attorney. I don't understand it. I better go rely on an accountant, CPA, or attorney. Tell me what the law is, Mr. Attorney or CPA. You don't need that. I made the law
Yeah.
right there for you, clear. And if your accountant, CPA, tax attorney cannot refute what I say, it shows what a fraud he is. You should fire
What?
him.
Yeah. What about state taxes? Let's talk about the
Most
difference with
states,
state tax. Go
yeah,
ahead.
most states that claim to have a state income tax of the 42 follow the federal law and federal law definition or forms. So if you're not required to file and pay federal income taxes, you're not required to file state income taxes either. The only ones that are different are Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Alabama, Mississippi, and Arkansas. They have an independent tax system of the federal government by choice. If you're one of those states, you have to pay state income tax. Otherwise, you don't pay state income tax in the other states.
Okay. What about property tax? Would that be separate from the state tax itself? The
You have
property
to pay
tax?
property taxes. You have to pay sales taxes because those are two primary taxes charged by your local government, county, city, and state that pay for the sheriffs, the police, the judges, the courts, the prosecutors, the roads, the schools. That's what keeps us safe because I'm from a country of Florida in a union of 50 countries, United States. Okay, so each state has its own legislature that makes laws, governor that executes laws, and their own Supreme Court. We're duped to believe America is one country. We're not one country. We are the
Right.
United States, United
States.
countries, 50
States.
countries. And each state with its local taxes like sales and property taxes provides all the basic needs of government that you expect to know and believe, like again, law enforcement and roads and so forth. You got to pay those.
Okay.
Those you gotta pay. There's a law to pay all that, so I don't challenge those at all. Pay those taxes. They should be lower, I think, absolutely, but they're lawful.
Okay, so let me make sure I got this right. So we have the federal, we have the state taxes. Okay, the federal is for DC. It's for that country there, DC. Okay, I got that right. All right.
Yes, and there's
The
something else. FICA taxes or Social Security taxes. Believe it or not, in the law books, that applies only certain people in four island federal territories of Guam, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, and American Samoa. Not even DC
mhm.
people have to pay FICA, Social Security taxes. That's right there in the own law, in the internal room of the code, if you know the right page to read it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. So then, okay, so then we got that. All right. And then our states are actually little countries. We're little
That's right.
countries, 50 different countries, all right, that have been called the United States, the different states of America.
That's
That
right.
is that's
We are just like
interesting.
I'll tell you what, Silk, in Europe, you have a European Union. Within it is France, Germany, Italy, and other countries. Would anybody dispute that France and Germany are countries? Of course, they're countries, but they delegated a few powers, these countries, to the European Union. They have uniform rules of immigration, you have uniform money. The same thing in America. We forgot that we are 50 countries united, and the federal government has only a few specific powers that the countries, the states, delegated to the federal government, like common defense, common money, and common immigration rules. Those are some examples.
And here's the deal. When you think about the federal, the money that they take and allocate to these different states is from our tax dollars that we pay into their IRS system. But if we didn't pay that into their system, then they wouldn't have that money to allocate to the different states. You follow
That's
me?
right.
So
They would not be able to
go ahead.
control the states. Say, hey, state, do this. I will not give you money. Wait a minute. That money came from
It's
our citizens of the states to begin with. So
right.
we should have sent our money to the empire in DC, keep it right here locally, support our families, our communities within our states.
That's incredible. I just that it was like a light bulb moment just happened for me because that's the truth. You are absolutely right. Payma, I want to say thank you so much for this incredible conversation concerning paying taxes and I understand why you are the number one enemy of the IRS because you're spilling the beans and the collard greens and the in between with the side of onion rings. You're telling the people about the laws that's there and really how the laws don't apply to us. For when it comes down to the federal, it don't apply to us
Mhm,
as America. Okay, it
mhm.
only applies to those individuals in DC and if you're in the military, correct?
No, actually applies only to federal workers who work in DC. Also applies if you own real estate in DC and you sell it for a profit. Those are very minor, small groups, though. Primarily applies
Okay.
to citizens and residents of DC. And the thing is, so I love America. America, I believe, is the greatest place on earth ever been, the richest, most powerful, prosperous place on earth. We have all these God-given freedoms that the founding fathers made sure they're secured by
Yeah,
the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. The system is fundamentally sound. The problem is we are being miseducated, kept ignorant deliberately, so we don't know about our rights and don't assert them. Even me had a degree in business from California University, was completely ignorant about all these things until some patriot started educating me back in 1992 about these things.
incredible, incredible. Well, I want to say thank you so much for being on the show. Every time it's tax time, I always bring you on so we can talk about and have this particular discussion. And I want to say once again, God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Silk.
Incredible. You all. Okay, incredible conversation, you all. So you all, hey, it's up to you. You grown, you take his advice, and just and educate yourself. Educate yourself as to what's going on here in our country. Now, I have another quick video that I want to show you all. This is coming from our White House correspondent for Lindell TV, Kara Castronova, got to ask the press secretary, Caroline Levitt, a few questions, and I want you all to take a look at what she had to ask. Please play clip one.
So President Trump has designated Tren de Aragua as a foreign terrorist organization and deported its members while also moving to restrict Venezuela's oil exports. Is the administration preparing additional military or economic actions against Venezuela and the Maduro regime? And my second question is about Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett. Is the administration have a comment on her decision to go with the liberals and go actually with the Tren de Araguas? This is the same justice that actually sided against January 6 hostages last year. So is the administration have a comment? Are they disappointed in Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett?
To your first question, I don't have any actions to read out in terms of Venezuela. The president has imposed secondary tariffs on the Maduro regime and on Venezuela in the form of oil, which is obviously going to have a crippling effect on the Maduro regime, and that's the intended effect of this administration. As for the justice you mentioned, as for the Supreme Court, we've made our feelings very clear. We believe this was a massive victory. Certainly, we wish this was a 9-0 decision because we firmly believe that the president was well within his constitutional authority, and the Supreme Court made that very clear last night, and they put Judge Boasberg in his place. We called on the Supreme Court to rein in these judges who are acting as judicial activists, not real arbiters of the truth and the law, and that's exactly what we saw the Supreme Court do yesterday.
Incredible, incredible, incredible. Thank you, Kara, for asking important questions about different matters that really matters to the people. All right, that I want to say thank you. Now, as it pertains to Amy Coney Barrett, all right, from my understanding, she was referred to President Trump back in 2020 by Mitch McConnell. All right, we all know who Mitch McConnell is. Okay, all right. Mitch McConnell, he's that dried up deep state snake. Yeah. He's the one that's up there in the Senate. Okay, all right. So when I look at how these SCOTUS and these different judges are acting like puppets, it makes me ask the question: are they being blackmailed, or are they being threatened? Are their families being threatened, or are they being paid off? Okay, all right. I don't know, but all I can say is that it's possible. All right. Okay. So nothing surprises me when it comes down to Amy. All right. But one thing I do know, as far as being a judge and judges making decisions, they are supposed to render their decisions and their verdict based on the law. Okay, they're not supposed to take something, read nothing into it, think about it, and say, I think that this is what this means. No, it's supposed to be based on the letter of the law, not personal feelings and not coercion. That's not what's supposed to happen. Okay, and let me say this: anyone siding with a terrorist, being in our country, and keeping terrorists in our country should also be deported from our country. I don't care if you are a judge. Your ass need to be deported from our country if you're siding with keeping terrorists, these different terrorist organizations and these different gangs and different things in our country that's terrorizing American citizens. They need to be deported as well, because guess what? It is illegal. It is illegal to aid and abet an alien. Title 8, Code 1324. All right, clearly states that it is illegal to aid and abet an alien. Huh? Yeah. You all go look it up for yourself, okay? All right? Go look it up for yourself. It is illegal to aid and abet an alien. So when they bring down these different verdicts and these different decisions and different things and say, no, you got to fly them back here, that's illegal. That's illegal according to the immigration laws here in America. When they say, oh, no, you can't take and send them out. Now, Joe Biden, open up this country, open up our borders and allow these illegal aliens into our country. Where the hell was the judges at then, huh? Because we got laws. Title 8, Code 1324. It's illegal to aid and abet these aliens. It's illegal for these aliens to be here in our country, breaking our laws, killing up the citizens. Where were these judges at then? Huh? Where were they at? Now we have people, okay? Yeah, they want to go against President Trump because they want to keep these illegal aliens here in our country for what? So they can vote? So they can murder American citizens? Huh? Why are you trying to keep them here? And like I said, for the ones trying to keep them here, they need to be deported too. I don't care if you're a Congress member, a Democrat, a Republican, or a judge, or even Amy. You need to be deported. Why are you here? And you're not following the law? Huh? Just ask yourself that question. It is illegal to aid these murderous bastards, these terrorist mofos. It's illegal to aid them. And when you're out there with all these different NGOs, you're giving over our Social Security to these folks. You're taking the FEMA money and you're allocating it to these illegal aliens. Joe Biden's ass, Kamala's ass need to be locked up right now. Ain't nothing to investigate. We already know that regime did what it did. Whoever was over that need to be locked up. Anybody that allocated money to illegal aliens needs to be locked up right now because it was American tax dollars and you did it illegally. You aided these people. You gave them food stamps. You drive down our Medicare system. Somebody had to go to the DMV, stand in this long line full of all of these doggone Mexican-looking folks. I said, well, were they illegal? Well, we didn't know their status. That the person did not know their status. But here's my deal. I know they're illegal aliens. Standing there at the DMV, where American citizens, it's hard for them to get their driver's license. You all. And guess what? You got these people standing here. I don't know who's getting a kickback and a patty whack and which dog is being given a bone. I don't know that. But what I do know is what you're doing is illegal. These people didn't go to no doggone school to learn how to drive. We went to driver's ed. How many driver ed schools did these people go to learn how to drive on our roads? Those people need to be locked up too, and you can deport their asses as well. Now listen, it's 11:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all gonna have to pray for Silk, because Silk just got hyped. All right, we need to abolish the IRS. Yes. And all of these judges that want to take up and for these doggone illegal aliens, aid them by keeping them here in our country, they need to be gone. So y'all pray for Silk. Every day at 11:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, pray for President Trump and his protection, and pray for God to heal this here land. Heal the land by removing these demonic evil bastards the hell out of our country. So in the meantime and in between time, I look forward to seeing you next time right here on Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live. Bye-bye.